Whoa.
I'm not saying it in a funny way. It's a describer. It's a
description?
Yeah, it's a description. Yeah, it's adjective. Yep, because that's a normal, people know what you mean when you say that. So I'm just putting it into visualization for the listeners who just jumped on.
That's the first thing they hear. Clint's got that kind of head. I love it.
You can't even say Down syndrome? Is that wrong?
Well, I can't because, take care of patients with it, so.
Well, we're not making fun of it. We're just using it as a descriptor.
I know. I just didn't use it as a descriptor. Is that okay?
It's okay, yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
Well, you don't count, Hunter.
Podcast by yourself tonight.
Yeah, well.
Hey, oh, you went live and I didn't jump in on Discord.
Babyface Joe over here.
Hey, did you see that the guy that did the World of Warcraft South Park cosplay died?
No, I did not.
Remember that video you showed us where he comes out and it's his desk?
Yep.
He passed away of COVID.
Did he really?
Well, maybe, might have been a heart attack or something else, but we'll call it COVID.
Probably because he had some health complications. He was pretty...
Right.
Well, he was probably what? Early 50s, late 40s in that video? So that was probably 10 years ago, I think?
10 years ago? I thought that was current, the one you showed me.
No,
that was years ago.
Yeah, that was back when World of Warcraft was like first booming and it was a huge thing.
Yeah, it was shortly after the cartoon. I think after the South Park deal. Anyway, guys, we're getting ready to start here. Just getting things shared up, letting people know that we're in the hizzy faux shizzy, as Ryan would say. Yeah.
Watch that foul language.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of inappropriate.
Well,
yeah.
Justin says lame. Okay. That's what he said about
Justin's
Ryan,
lame.
not me. You know what?
If Justin's lame, what are we? Jeez, I don't want to think about that.
Hey, I'll tell you this
much.
much.
I know what I already told you I'm a foot.
You are a foot. Smell
foot
like
long.
Whoa. I'm not going to play into your little games. Not playing into them. You and Ryan's crudeness. Ryan's trying to share stuff over there.
I am. I'm not trying. When I do something, I just do it. It's not really like a try type thing. Yep.
That's because your Facebook app works.
Let's start, guys. It's 9/11.
Yep. Wow, you're just gonna say that live on stream?
Well,
you don't even care about it?
Just
wow. I see what you
Wow,
mean.
it's just. It can't be just anything. It's 9/11. Wow.
I'm not talking about the day.
Wow.
Here we go. See?
I'm appalled.
You got Ryan triggered over here.
I thought you were Ryan. Who's appalled?
Ryan. Got my chair sitting upright so I don't lean back and get too far away from my mic, They call that the old insurance policy. All right. Let's get it, boys. As soon as you hear from our highlight video.
Hearing from it or watching?
Hey, my mic's unmuted, boys. Unmuted mic.
All right. Thanks for double checking something so basic as that. Nobody would ever make that mistake.
Oh, 10.
There it goes.
Oh, she got me.
The deal.
She got me.
No,
She's on me.
I got the deal.
We're Delirious Dads Gaming.
So are you going to be a gamer that's a dad, or are you going to be a dad that's a gamer?
Resident Evil together on the couch.
Go check out the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
that.
Available today on your favorite podcast platforms and at the website DeLiriousDadsGaming.com. The Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast is a gaming podcast geared towards dads who are gaming enthusiasts. They don't take themselves so serious that they can't have fun. They include fun, joking banter that keeps the content both entertaining and relaxing. They bring gaming news.
The Halo Infinite teaser seems like it's marking the return of the Banished.
Dr. Disrespect, so Twitch has permanently banned him and nobody knows why.
Game reviews.
Crackdown 3. worst reviewed game of this century.
Tips and tricks, and gaming quizzes with a dad perspective in mind. If you're a gamer, but life keeps you too busy to keep up, then they have your back. Check it out today on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, and more. That's the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast. You can also find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search Delirious Dads Gaming. Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast at deliriousdadsgaming.com. Go check it out now.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Click Gaming, a freelance esports tournament company based out of Oklahoma. If you're located in the U.S. and need esports services, this is the ultimate gaming company for you. Contact Johnny Weaver at icychiller@att.net. That's ICYCHILLER. On this episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
Not tonight.
He rolls out. He throws it to the end zone. Touchdown! SpongeBob SquarePants?
Oh my God, it's the end of Earth! But first, I'm going to celebrate my 20th anniversary.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
And that's right, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast, episode 97.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Clinton Stanley. I'm here with...
Rah.
Yeah. And...
The Huntsman 420.
Yeah, blazing all the time, baby. It's because he's a cook.
That's why I'm trying
It's because you're a cook.
Name.
It's because you're a cook. That's what you do. You rebrand it. You show some pictures of your character with like some cooking fires and stuff, you know. Blazing, boom. Steaks and potatoes, boom. You're good.
Yeah, always on that green.
It's my birthday.
Yeah, well. Hey, today is my
it's Clint's anniversary.
Yeah, 8-year anniversary.
Jump in there.
And I just took it right out of my mouth.
That's what she said.
Happy anniversary, buddy.
Cal. Oh, I see what you.
How many years have you been happily married?
8 years.
No, I said happily.
Oh.
Just messing with you. You don't have to say that on here.
No, you're good.
8 years, bro. Come on now.
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
good.
I'm just messing with you. He's got a good marriage. We're not lying. We're not hiding things. Yeah.
Yeah. Cal.
Just as awkward as it can be on purpose.
And then I'm over here reading this guy's chat name in Twitch.
What is it? Cal Richardson?
Cal Rip New Butt. Cal Rip New Butt.
Oh, nice.
Says,
I like it.
Will one of you be my father? No.
Of course.
Says,
what do you mean? We are your daddy. It's Delirious Dads.
You can. I'm not claiming him.
We're group fathers.
We are daddy.
We co-parent. Yeah, we
There
are
you go.
daddy. Like it's one. We're legion.
We. There you go. Yeah, he says, guy in the red looks most like me. Well, if you're a sexy son of a gun, then sure. You know?
It's like, Dad?
He must have missed the beginning of the podcast.
Dad?
Goodness. Yeah, it's okay. I can take it because it's episode 97. It's a new year. Okay, we got past the New Year episode where we talked about all the things we loved about 2020, but we're done with 2020. We're moving on to 2021 here.
Where things are not different at all. It's just the numbers changed.
Just a little bit busier, I would say. It's like I can't take much more busy. But we've been playing some video games, guys, and I bet you'll guess what we've been playing. Never guess, I should say. Yeah, that's right. We're playing an old game, Overwatch. Bringing you hard-hitting games that, you can't wait till it releases. Oh, no, you're talking about Overwatch. Yep, we are.
Hey, people still love Overwatch. It's got a huge following.
Big
and there's a new Overwatch on its way. Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm not a big fan, but I like.
We're stretching out our esports wings.
Hey, at least Hunter's giving it a shot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He does like it. He's just not ready to switch from Warzone. He's started. Clint's always doing the switch on us.
I'll play this a lot longer than I'll play Daisy.
Hey, I offered to play Warzone the other night, and Alert Gaming, they wanted to play Overwatch, so that's what we did.
Okay.
I'm putting it on them. Alert Gaming, okay? That's Justin, a.k.a. Brazzy TV. That's a free plug.
I know this guy. Sorry, I didn't know they went by that name.
Yeah, that's their team. That's their
because I only watch my favorite one stream all the time.
Oh, I bet we can't guess who that is. Anyway, this is awkward. Let's move on to the game news. We're bringing gaming news this week, and we're also going to be bringing free games. Ryan's got that covered for us. He's our deal maker.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we got planned for you. And if you don't like that, well, then you better just keep staying in the podcast because we're entertaining and you're going to enjoy it. So that's all I can say. But is there anything else you guys want to say before we move on to news?
I did like the intro video. I've seen it 1,000 times probably, but this time I was just like really intently watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought to myself, if I saw this somewhere, I would check it out.
Oh, yeah, it's a good video.
Yeah.
He did a great job on it.
It's beautiful.
Also,
we're professional brand and company here.
Yeah.
I got to dabble this last week in the PS5.
Oh, that's right. We need to talk about that tonight. So that we'll just make that part of the news segment if you're cool with that.
It sounds good.
Because we need to discuss that for sure. Okay. Well, Ryan, is there anything else you wanted to mention before we head on into the news?
Everything that's on my mind is not allowed on this podcast, so let's head on.
All right, sweet. Sounds good. I hate you so bad. So bad. Leaks for Geeks. All right, guys, and it's time for the leaks for the geeks. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
According to Ryan, we're like China, and we're going to bring it to you straight, okay? So.
Nothing straight about it.
We're bringing
No,
news.
I just meant this is a family-friendly show, and the things on my mind tonight are less family-friendly, Dads have less family-friendly thoughts. We just don't talk about them on the show. That's all.
Well, we just, on the podcast, we don't want your, 4-year-old being like, Mom, what is this? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
now, if you're watching our gaming, if you're watching our gaming streams, you're screwed. So just to let you know right away.
We don't get too dark compared to some people, but we're darker than this. We go from like PG to PG-13. It gets dangerous.
You'll hear me say frickin' a couple times.
Oh, watch your mouth.
I think we've heard you say more than that, bro. Come on.
I don't think so.
Come on. Lots of sexual innuendos because that's just a guy thing. Just laugh.
But we're all married, so we're talking about within the realm of the confines of marriage. So it's all good,
Yep. Okay, so let's get right to it. Hunter, you never even told me how many news stories you got, so here we go.
All the same ones you have, Clint. All the same ones you have.
Oh, it could be, couldn't it? Just a
I only got about 16, but I can chop it down to 14 since I'm talking about the PlayStation.
There you go. This will only be a 2-hour podcast day, guys.
Yeah.
Shorten it down for you. All right, well, bring it to us, Hunter.
I'm going first. Okay. All right. Well, I was going to first talk about. I have 3, and I think I'll just get rid of one. Sorry. I'll get rid of one and talk about the PlayStation instead. So I'll have 2 news articles.
I do want to let you know I got a couple that are like shorter, so don't worry about me going long.
We'll just see. Call of Duty Warzone and Black Ops Cold War are adding a new operator, and the operator is wielding a giant sledgehammer. So the newest operator of the Call of Duty Warzone and Black Ops Cold War has arrived, and he brings a hammer. The new operator, Wyatt Bulldozer Jones, is an American Marine who was born in 1955. He's aligned with the NATO fraction and his blood type is O+, O positive is the correct term to say. In case you were wondering, I don't know why they have to go into such detail, but that's, I guess, character building.
That's a little sus, but yeah.
You can purchase Bulldozer through the 8-item bundle that also includes various items and extras, the most notable of which is a giant sledgehammer. The heavy-handed legendary blueprint is a combat sledgehammer that features a rubber grip and the words "knock knock" written on the side of the business end of the hammer itself. As you might have guessed, the hammer is the centerpiece of Bulldozer's finishing move, which is called the hammer uppercut. You can see it in action through the video below. If you want to access the video I'm talking about, it's on GameSpot under the article about our buddy what was his name? Bulldozer.
Wyatt Bulldozer Sledgehammer guy.
Mm-hmm.
Knock knock.
So yeah, that's
okay. I was like, wow, thanks guys. I got 2 questions. 1, you may not be able to answer, and 2, Ryan will answer. Okay. So
all right.
Okay. All right, here we go. What was my first question? Now I got to think about it for a minute. Because when you're dad,
it was the one that Hunter might not be able to answer. Bing. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So, is this guy, so this guy is technically a real person in real life? Like, was a real Marine and all that? That's the one Hunter might not be able to answer because it doesn't say it.
Are you asking me if they did this character based on a real Marine in real life?
This is the real
because
guy.
some of the story is based off real stories. That's why he's asking.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's what I want to make sure of first.
There's nothing on here that it was based after
a real character.
Real character.
And then number 2, non-gaming related. Why do they call it the business end of the sledgehammer?
Because it's the end you do business with.
Is it though?
Right. It's not that. Well, you handle the business from the handle, but the business is on the other end.
On the other end, where you're smacking.
Because if you take that off, you're not going to drive any nails or crack any cement or whatever you're trying to do with your hammer, no matter what size it is. Yeah.
I think I thought of an opposite. See, so that's where I'm at tonight.
Okay.
I was like, why would he hit the door with the handle?
I want to know. I want to let you guys know where my mind went right from the beginning, which was, this seems unfair because usually the different operators and characters and skins have no effect on your gameplay other than like if you have sniper gear, right? So you're hidden more. So then I started thinking, what, this guy just goes around sledgehammering people? Like nobody else has a different melee weapon than a knife, right? Unless I'm crazy. But then I thought, I guess it doesn't matter because a knife in Call of Duty is always instant death. So I'm sure sledgehammer is instant death.
There actually is a couple different melees that you can use.
Oh, are there? I just didn't realize.
Knife. I think there's a shovel. Maybe not in this one.
I know there's different finishing moves. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
I know they came out the little katana type deals.
There's 2 katanas you can have as a melee weapon.
Shows how much I know. I never get close enough to melee anybody.
So I think that they all do probably the same damage, so you're not.
I don't.
Are they all instant death like knifing used to be? Used to, if you knife somebody, they're dead.
I don't know. Is it a weapon in Warzone? Are those allowed in Warzone?
Yeah, I've seen Justin have them.
Okay,
going back
there you
to
go.
Justin again. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to crush on Justin, but
yeah, you are.
He plays the most Warzone.
It's probably instant death. I mean, that's how all your other melee weapons have been in Call of Duty forever.
That would be the only way it'd be worth it because you're at a massive disadvantage as far as
tell
distance.
us in the comments.
Yeah, you can't have one guy with the knife and one guy with the sledgehammer.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be all bad.
Right.
Okay.
That's what first struck me, and then I was like, wait, no, they don't do that.
All I'm saying, whether it's a 1-shot kill or 2-shot kill, I'm pretty sure they keep all the melee weapons.
It's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, when it comes to the business end of Microsoft's COVID efforts, from now on until the end of the year, U.S. Xbox players who donate their Microsoft rewards towards the effort to contain and stamp out COVID-19 will have their donation matched by Microsoft. So there you go, guys. Get you some extra rewards.
Good old Bill Gates, Mr. Population Control. We'll see what happens with that money.
And now through the end of the year, so it's now through the end of the year. So 2021, I was just repeating the same thought. You're going to get those donations. All right, that's all I got on Microsoft, guys.
Nice. Okay.
I told you that one was short and fast, bro.
Well, my next thing here is different. Okay. And it's actually what I was talking about in the opener about SpongeBob SquarePants catching a touchdown.
Okay.
Because Madden 21 teases a crossover with SpongeBob. And it says Madden 21 teases crossover with SpongeBob, and it's not as strange as you think. A teaser from Madden's NFL Twitter account today asks fans, "Are you ready?" Attached to the tweet is an image of SpongeBob's face and the date January 7. This is presumably when all will be revealed about the strange Madden 21 campaign.
SpongeBob's going to be a new mascot.
Yeah, it was previously announced that CBS Sports and Nickelodeon, which are owned by the same company, are teaming up for a special NFL playoff broadcast. This Sunday's wild card game between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints will be broadcasted on Nickelodeon. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
And the televised event will include a variety of Nickelodeon-themed events. Nickelodeon stars Gabrielle Green, she's an All That character, will be in the booth alongside a play caller to give her insight. That sounds really interesting to me. While another All That actor, Lex Lumpkin, will be on the sideline as a sideline reporter. The broadcast kicks off with a SpongeBob Sports Pants countdown special.
That's crazy. I didn't even know All That still existed. All That.
Talking about
They are
all that.
Yeah.
They're also going to have NFL star Von Miller recounting some of SpongeBob's most favorite sports moments.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be all SpongeBob voice. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so, and then it goes on to give you, again, I'm on GameSpot if you want to look this up, and you can see some different videos they have on here. It shows a glimpse of what the broadcast might look like. And they've got some different things like the field goal nets that catch the ball is SpongeBob. But I mean, that's super.
Well, SpongeBob has always been connected to football anyway, because the voice actor of Patrick Starfish was also an actor in the old '90s show called Coach. I don't know if you guys remember that. He used to come on late at night. Yep, he played the assistant coach. I think it was for like some Minnesota football team, but it was just
that one guy doesn't.
I remember
SpongeBob.
The main coach is the dad from what do you call it? Poltergeist. There you go. Little history for you, Hunter.
They said at halftime they're going to do a teaser for some SpongeBob episodes or TV shows or something. But for me, I'm like, if you want to do an epic football mashup for SpongeBob, you need to recreate the most epic episode ever, and that's when they do the Super Bowl halftime show.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Remember that? Where they raise up out of the ground that little bubble?
Yep.
Yeah, they need to somehow do that. That'd be sick.
Sweet. You mean you don't want more crotch grabbing this year?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for me, even more surprising than them matching this up with an actual NFL game is how they're going to incorporate it in Madden. But if Madden is anything like it used to be and they stay on the same path, it's probably just going to be an exhibition game that you can play that has the Nickelodeon stuff in it, like they're going to have on the real TV. So,
wonder if they'll release all this.
Creative.
Well, if they do all this stuff, they can put like stuff up in the stands and things, some billboards, what have you. A little shout out to Brazzy TV. We didn't forget about you. We're just doing a podcast.
On Madden, they actually have people in their stands, Clinton, because COVID doesn't exist in the world of Madden. But
yeah, that's true. Has not hit them. What if next year's version is just all cardboard cutouts, little masks?
Oh my gosh,
I think they're horrible. I think they're trying to keep it happy. So.
Are they? Are you sure?
Well, they could have incorporated that in 21 probably pretty easily.
That'd be pretty slick, though. Imagine what collector's item that'd be. The one Madden game where they're wearing masks and,
There's like one person per every 8 rows. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all that I got for the SpongeBob one. And then we can talk a little PS5.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll burn through my next 3 then. You're saying that's it? That's all you got? You're finished?
That's all I got. I got something that might go along with it a little bit, but
Okay. We'll see where I'm at time-wise and let me know.
Okay.
So Ryan's favorite guy, Bill Gates, is not going to be happy about this news. Minecraft Earth, the alternate reality mobile game where players could recreate the feeling of playing Minecraft in the real world, will shut down at the end of June due to COVID-19. It says here, Minecraft, the official statement from Minecraft website reads, Minecraft Earth was designed around free movement and collaborative play, 2 things that have become near impossible in the current global situation. As a result, we have made a difficult decision to reallocate our resources to other areas that provide value to the Minecraft community and to end support of the Minecraft Earth in June 2021. Ahead of the game shutting down, though, this summer, Microsoft has unveiled a series of updates to make these last months as fun as possible. So here's what they're doing here. They're removing real money transactions. They're drastically reducing Ruby costs. They're including all completed, unreleased content in the pipeline. So you'll probably even get some unfinished stuff. Reduces time. They're reducing the time requirements for crafting and smelting, replacing unused crafting and smelting boosts with radius boosts of the same level. They're granting a set of character creator items for players who sign in between now and June 30th. And Microsoft will cease all content and server support for Minecraft Earth on June 30th, which means you will not be able to play the game or download the game any longer. And that's it. That's all you got from Microsoft on that end. I think maybe we mentioned Minecraft Earth, but I've never tried it, played it. It was off my radar, I guess.
We've never checked it out.
I heard of Pokemon Go. I knew of the Walking Dead one. I didn't know about this one. So
Minecraft was an augmented reality Minecraft where you build within the real world?
I believe so. That's
I thought you were saying that it was like a game. Well, that makes sense for why they'd cancel it. That's what I was just thinking when you said that. Because at first when you said it, I thought, it's a game where you can travel around the globe and there's actual landmarks and things like that where you can build within the game. But now it sounds more like, because why would you cancel that, right?
Right.
So now with what you're saying, it does kind of sound more like you build within your own world. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of fun. So I'm kind of a little mad that I never tried it. So Claire's been asking me about Minecraft. She wants to learn how to play.
I think the only thing sad about that is that if there is people who've had it and invested money into it already.
Yeah.
Well, they said they're not going to close it, right?
No, they're shutting it down. Yeah, they're shutting it completely down after June 30th.
And they said they closed off all microtransactions. Well, if my homie's on there already and has already done microtransactions, sucks to be him.
Well, if you paid for the game, they shouldn't be able to just close it down. It sounded like they just weren't going to put anything else into it. No more resources.
No, it says here you won't be able to play or download the game any longer. So it sounds like they're shutting down servers and everything.
It's got to be a free game then. There's no way they do that and not return people money.
Yeah, I'm sure it's free, and then you just buy all your transactions.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But if somebody got on there and did transactions.
That's true.
But, I mean, we buy video games in the past, and then they're like, new console, can't play it anymore.
Well, but you can play it.
Well, if you
have the console and you keep the game, you can play it.
All right, Mr. Devil's Advocate over there.
I'm just saying it would suck to sink money into something that you could just no longer play at all.
Oh, that's how I'm going to feel whenever, if and when WoW servers close.
Yeah.
Old Clint's going to have a rough day. A lot of time, money put into that game.
That's like, the thought makes you want to vomit.
All right. Next on the list, boys, Elder Scrolls 6. We've got a little bit of a teaser. If you're on the Twitch here, over on Twitter over the holidays, Bethesda released a picture which has caused speculation amongst the fan community. In the picture, you will see a map of Skyrim. Okay, so two candles are located on or near Skyrim itself. One is placed above the map on a book, which of course has people talking about Starfield. since it takes place in space. The third candle is placed beyond Skyrim's borders to the southwest, just underneath the label for Hammerfell. This is the home of the Red Guards, and now people are just going nuts because they're like, well, is Elder Scrolls 6 going to be in Hammerfell? So yeah, they say here that, so far we know that details have been scarce with Bethesda on their new game. We know they're working on it, but that's all we know. So anyway, a little bit of speculation for you guys.
I will tell you, I've done some more research on Skyrim. You guys, if you guys been listening, we talked about, or not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online. We talked about that a few episodes ago, and maybe jumping into playing it. It looks good. I mean, it looks like they've really brought a lot of updates and are continuing to expand. And seems like release after release, they're building a better fan base rather than losing it, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of intrigued. I remember looking at it a while back and going, maybe. And then when I watched some stuff on it the other day, I was like, yeah, that looks like something I think we'd have some fun with for sure. I did jump back in and play like a couple hours of WoW with Clint.
He did over the holiday break.
But then everybody ended up wanting to play Overwatch. But I am wanting to kind of try that again and see if I can get into it. Or Elder Scrolls Online if we play together. But yeah, so I think it'd be a good idea because then all of these things that come out end up going into the Elder Scrolls universe.
Right.
So I guess that map would be available on there too, whatever comes out, I guess. So it's interesting to see what's coming for that for sure. I did pull up a video on the Minecraft world or Minecraft Earth. It is an augmented reality type deal. Looks like there's some massive builds and stuff like that people have done that you can go look at other people's builds in real life. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
But it was released right before 2020, like September 19. And so really, it's probably was just like, wow, no worse timing than that. So that's why they're...
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah. The creator of that's just like heartbroken. Just ready to retire now. Yeah. Man, that is really rough. That sucks. Well, Ryan's talking about Elder Scrolls. He mentioned WoW. We got to talk about RuneScape, guys. Old school RuneScape. So, the iconic fantasy MMO RuneScape celebrated its 20-year anniversary on January 4th. And developer JagX will roll out some nostalgic events throughout the year as part of the, quote, one of the game's most content-rich years ever. It just blows me away. But, I mean, WoW's 15, so what am I talking about over here? RuneScape is getting a new event called the Grand Party, and it features beloved NPCs like the random event Sandwich Lady and the party hat wearing wise old man. I think I've seen him before in some videos. Grand Party will dish out a suite of buffs as well as an anniversary cape and outfit. More anniversary content will arrive throughout the year as part of the 4-part quest line, Once Upon a Time, which JagX describes as a celebratory romp through RuneScape's past, present, and a glimpse of its future. This will start on January 25th and will run alongside the Elder Gods arc planned for the year. So
nice.
There you go. It says JagX will also release some anniversary merch. And for the headliner, it's a gold vinyl pressing for 24 hand-picked RuneScape songs, including the one and only Sea Shanty 2. Additionally, comic publisher Dark Horse is partnering with the studio for an illustrated history of the game's first 2 decades. So,
nice.
There you go. Justin, in the chat, did you play RuneScape? Were you a RuneScape guy? I think I remember you being at my house and playing before. That was.
I used to go over to my cousin's house and watch him play for hours. I mean, we would just stay up all night.
RuneScape is one of those things to where every time I've met somebody who's deeply into RuneScape, it's kind of like a bang against World of Warcraft. Like, you're World of Warcraft or you're this. It's not something where people do both. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, my cousin didn't play WoW, so.
I don't know. I mean, I felt like, and I may be speaking out of turn here, I felt like RuneScape was like your cheaper. I'm a kid. I'm younger. I can't afford WoW. I'm gonna play that. That's how I always perceived it. Yeah. So I think that was kind of like, oh, we can't afford WoW. Dad won't pay for my WoW bill. I'm playing RuneScape.
Mm.
That was there was a little surge there of games that you just got on and made an account for free and you got to play. You know what I'm saying? Like even Flash games at that time, you could go on
huge.
And save. Yeah. You could save some data on some of those servers.
I remember we had a class called computer science class, which makes no sense because there's no science going on in computer science class, but that's what they call it. And then you're supposed to be learning how to type and do different things, and all we did is play games.
Why didn't they just call it typing?
Adventure Quest. Do you remember the game Adventure Quest?
No.
2D scroller, and you were a guy, and you got in fight. You fought monsters, and you could level up as you went.
I think that came after us, Ryan.
This was big. This was big during the Flash play section. So if you could get away with it without your teacher seeing, you played Stick Death. Stick Death was huge at that time. All the different
RPG.
And there's a bunch of different Stick Death games that had come out.
Stick Death. We played Motherload. Motherload was another good one.
Yep. And then you played the simulators were first getting big. So we played Mario and some of those kind of games at the time. And
so you had an emulator on the school PC.
Yeah. No, it wasn't an emulator. It was just Mario on
Flash,
like you just play it online.
Oh, it was old school. Was it old school Mario? Is that what it was?
Yeah, old school Mario. Yep. Then I remember also playing trying to play like some games that were like, Stick Death was risky because it was death, but then there were some other games that were like semi-sexual. That we'd be trying to sneak in and play, and those were big on the Flash stuff. That game, we talked about it on here once when we were doing a Easter egg or pull my leg or does that game exist? And it was like a sperm game. You're racing to get to the egg.
Yeah.
You had to stay alive shooting through this tunnel. I remember that one.
Justin says he never played RuneScape, doesn't even know what I'm talking about. You're a liar. Because I remember you playing it in my room. There would have been no one else playing it.
Escape.
He was playing
All Justin cares about is when are we wrapping up and streaming Overwatch.
Yep,
get over it, Justin. Clint is working overtime for the next 3 months, and he's not going to play any video games because it's just like Christmas season, he said.
Boom. I don't know if I said it was. Wow, now you're putting words in my mouth, Ryan. I don't know if I said I'd never play for 3 months. I'm not that dedicated. I might just be a little bit tired.
Mm-hmm. The question is, are we playing tonight when we're done?
That's a good question. We'll have to see what time we wrap it up.
It's on the line. It's on the line, Justin. We don't know.
It's on the line.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter, I'm done with my news. Tell us about your Christmas miracle, the PlayStation 5.
Christmas miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of my brother-in-laws has the PS5, and while I was there, I got to mess around with it for a little bit. But first, I just wanted to pass this last little short news thing here. Okay. And it's really, I want you guys to guess. This analyst, he predicted which console will sell the best in 2021.
I just want
to hear what you guys think.
Out of the two, or out of all consoles?
All consoles, PS5, Xbox Series X, IS, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I think Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nintendo Switch as well.
Well, you guys are correct.
Because the other two are limited supply, and the Switch is a cheaper go.
Well, not just because it's cheaper. We also have so many kids at home more right now, and more family units that are home right now than ever. So I think the Switch is going to play into that more because there's going to be stay-at-home dads or stay-at-home moms or stuff like that are just like losing their mind. And instead of having to come up with something else to play with their kids, they could play something like the Switch. And they're not going to be getting much of their own game time, because schedules are just different. People are worn out right now. So that's where my mind said, I think
listen to this take on it because he's not really in either of your boats there.
Really?
Says this is the beginning of a new year, and with that in mind, GI Biz, I don't know if I said that right, it's GI.biz, polled a number of video game analysts to ask for their predictions for gaming in the year to come. One surveyed analyst was Matt Piscatella, I think I said that right, of the NPD group, one of his predictions is that the Nintendo Switch, not the newer, more powerful PS5 or Xbox Series XS consoles, will sell the most units in 2021. Despite the launch of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles, it will be the Nintendo Switch that ends up selling the most in 2021, he said. There are rumors swirling that Nintendo may release a beefier Pro variant of the Nintendo Switch. Regardless of whether or not that comes to fruition, Piscatello said he sees a bright future for the Switch in 2021. I will go a step further and suggest the Switch having a big sales year in 2021 will be driven by the content and promotional efforts rather than the release of the new model, basically. So he just thinks that Nintendo's going to do their job and pull it out of a hat, I guess, which I agree. I think, like you guys said, it's family orientated, and I don't know. I feel like it is something that families would be quicker to buy, and like you said, who knows?
It's a better price point. It's mobile, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think if your question was, are single console households, what are they going to buy most? I wouldn't say Switch, right? But the problem is, if you're an Xbox household, you still buy a Switch if you get the extra money. And if you're a PlayStation household, you still buy a Switch. And then there's single console households that buy Switches.
Yeah,
there's not that many households that buy Xbox and PlayStation, but there's a lot that buy Xbox and Switch, PlayStation and Switch. So my mind says, is Switch going to be the most profitable? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to make the most money. But I think as for units sold, yes, I think that they're gonna sell more of them. Yeah.
Well, I will say I don't have a PS5 or an Xbox Series, but I do have a Switch.
Oh, there you go. Yep. And think of this: if you hadn't pulled the trigger when you did, seeing a Pro version of the Switch, you've been thinking about, you're on the edge of, I'd like to get something for my family and me to play together. The Pro sounds pretty good. So I might take the bite on that if the Pro comes out.
Well, anyways, I know you guys are anticipating this little review I have for the PS5. And so here
he's like, I'm not going to give it.
So I was super excited when I walked in to my brother-in-law's living room. There it was in all of its glory, beautiful white. He had it laying down. It wasn't sitting up, but it's a bigger console than you ever expect. I know you guys have probably seen one in person, maybe like the model at Target or whatever, but it's a beefy dude. So, so I was excited. We sat down. I played primarily Astro's Playroom because I wanted to get the feel for that controller. And if you don't know what Astro's Playroom is that it's a showcase for that controller, basically. Every time PlayStation has released in the past couple of years, it comes with a playroom, some type of robot playroom that you can mess around.
Little mini games and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's what they like to call a throwaway game because it's free. Not you play it for just a little bit and it's done. This is not the same. This game was excellent. I played through it while I was there, and it is a good game. I would play it again. I'd go through and get all the achievements. It was super cool. It's set up in a way that basically it looks like you're inside of the PlayStation and you're going through like the graphics card and the fan and the CPU and stuff like that, like are different levels that you go through, and it showcases different parts of the vibration, in the controller. So, all along the way, you're collecting what they call artifacts, and these artifacts are old school PlayStation things, like the original PlayStation, all the way up until the current PlayStation. Just all kinds of stuff, like PSP, old remotes, just a bunch of crazy old things. But you're collecting all these. These are all collectibles. But this controller, guys, is amazing. It's different, and you try to process it without feeling it and using it. You think, how many different ways can something just vibrate in your hand? But it's different. I can't. The levels are split up and different. You have snowy levels. You have a beach level where you're on the sand. You have levels where you fly. You have levels where you use different weapons like a fully automatic minigun. Then you have levels where you use a bow. Just different ways they can play with this controller. They weren't scared to show you what they got in this.
Okay.
And so the very first level I played was the beach one. And when it opens up, you're on a slide. You slide down into the water and you get out on the sand. Well, when you start just right away sliding on this, it was wild. You slide down this slide, and as soon as you start sliding, a vibration came through that thing I've never felt before. It was weird. It was like, whoa, like, you know, it was a little kid experiencing something that really excited him again. You know, that's something that it's been a while since I felt, you know, and so it literally, I can't explain it to you, but the actions that you walked out had each individualized feelings to them, and your brain related it to that thing. I feel like I'm sliding right now. This is crazy. You know, when you start walking on the sand, it's got a, you know, and the crunch from the sand and the snow are different.
Oh, nice.
Like it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that crazy. Like there is a difference, and the way they play with your mind with that, plus the sounds, really good audio with snow crunching, sand, water, and then even having and I could be wrong, but there's this moment where you walk into these super strong fans that are pushing you back, and you can feel it on your hands. Like it was either the vibration, they just did a trick, and it made it feel like
they did show a thing where it would blow, didn't it? Didn't it have some kind of?
There's two different aspects to that. When you're getting wind pushed on you, it has a feeling like that. There's also a mechanic in the game where you blow into the remote to do something. Like
what?
It makes it do something. It's pretty crazy.
Oh wow!
So there's like a propeller fan that you had to push by blowing into your thing. So it's super cool. Like they've really gone out of their way. Huge difference. When you're using a bow and arrow on the game, super cool. I mean, like the drawback, it's crazy how
you're selling me right now.
The current remotes, right? The current remotes. When you use a current remote,
I feel like they didn't do a good job promoting it already. Just listening to you sounds better.
There's not a lot of drawback when you use your triggers, right? I mean, unless you got something sticky in your remote, it goes straight down.
Just triggers,
But these triggers, you can have nothing whatsoever. There's nothing there while you're playing the regular game. You pick up that bow and you start push down. Oh, there's pressure now, and it doesn't feel like this wonky, like not done well pressure. It feels like somebody stuck a rock behind your thing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't move it. Like I don't know how they've done this, but it's really added tension to your trigger buttons.
That's cool.
The same with guns, you know, like
some people probably won't like that because they want to be able to hit it fast. They don't care about how.
Well, I mean, it doesn't affect your speed, but your brain's got to get used to not feeling that trigger go all the way down, right?
I wonder if there's a way to adjust it, just like if you were like older and had some arthritis setting in, you know.
I'm sure.
Maybe some older gamers out there.
Yeah, you can probably just turn it off, I bet. Yeah.
It's funny because all that stuff to say, the coolest feeling in that whole game was in the trophy room. In the trophy room, you collect coins throughout all the levels, and you go to this big like claw machine type thing. It's like a slot machine, and you put your money in, and it coughs up a random ball, and then it's two robotic arms. One pulls the little like slot machine, it pops out the ball, you catch it, and you crush the ball, and whatever inside of it you get for your trophy room or experience points or whatever it was. I don't remember everything that it had, but they did the pressure motion to that. So like when the ball pops up in your hand and you go to crush it, it holds back on you, and you can
like
feel it struggling,
like a bounce back kind of.
Yeah, like you can feel it struggling, like there's a struggle in the grip, and then poof, it just all of a sudden goes in.
And are you pulling the trigger?
Yeah. You're pulling the trigger to pop the ball. So as he's struggling to pop the ball, like it's really putting pressure back on you. and then all of a sudden it just goes poof, all the way in, and you just pop that thing. It's crazy.
So how would that feel if they do that with the VR? Because the VR is supposed to work with the PlayStation 5 if you have a headset.
Right.
You mean using just a regular? I don't know. For me, that's going to be weird to use that kind of remote with your VR. I think that to really like immerse you in, they need to take that same technology to the
and put it in the
single controller.
Yeah.
So that would be super cool. My one thing that I was a little disappointed in is that, and it's just because it's such a new game, and I think that because it came out on the last gens too, but I did get to play a little bit of Valhalla. And Valhalla really didn't incorporate anything into it.
Yeah, so it was just a port over, basically.
There's nothing. Yeah, I mean, there's no trigger resistance. There's no, and I feel like for that game, for Assassin's Creed, that is a huge missed opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they should have waited. Many things in that game that you could have done. I mean, if you weren't going to use buttons, at least make my controller vibrate when I'm running through the snow, since there's so much snow in that game, But there's just things like that, like now that I tasted that,
you want
that's all you want in all your games.
I want every game to be immersed like that, and so unfortunately, those are the only 2 games I got to play. He had a couple other games he got for Christmas. He had the new Spider-Man, which I have heard. I think that they did incorporate. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did put some. Which that game was kind of to showcase the PS5, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they have put some vibration and some tension into how you web sling in that game.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Cool.
Do you think here in the beginning you're going to get maybe some games that just don't use it that much? Maybe
I do.
Little?
I think as this goes on, that we will see a lot more games try to use those tricks, especially the exclusives for PlayStation.
I think a good RPG like an Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. Well,
they need to make it where you can use that controller on PC and still have the same technology.
Actually, right? I was just about to say that they have teased that they're going to develop things on the PS or on the PC that allow you to use a PS5 remote. And
they should.
Okay.
In fact, I just bought my buddy a PS5 remote. He doesn't have a PS5 because he's going to use it on his PC.
So PlayStation has a good thing having that patent on that controller now. Gives them a lot of leverage in the gaming market. Now, I don't think people realize that because now they can wheel and deal a little bit with Microsoft. And
Microsoft never did the VR either. Yep. The Xbox One, they never went the VR.
Stay away from the peripherals. Yeah.
So I could definitely tell. Obviously, that is a big part of what's going to separate PlayStation 5 from Xbox is that new DualSense remote. But as far as other things,
now does it feel more like an Xbox remote because it's such a different shape to it?
It is. No, I don't think it. Again, I haven't held an Xbox remote in a while, but I remember, Xbox does feel a little more full. This one feels full, but it does feel different than a PS4, but I don't feel like I'm holding an Xbox remote.
Okay.
So it's hard to explain because it is a different design than
you may just have so much going on you don't even notice the size of it.
No, but I will definitely say that it does feel bigger than the last ones.
Yeah, it's got to be heavier anyway. It's not just bulkier; it's heavier too.
It's slender. I mean, the old ones were so slender. So, sorry, I'm looking off side because I have one right there that I'm looking at, the old one.
Yeah, they're much skinnier.
But yeah, I don't feel like it's Xbox-ish. The big difference you got to remember is the sticks, right? I mean, or did the recent Xbox bring the sticks in together too, or are they still kind of spread out more?
Yeah, no, they're still catty-cornered. Yeah,
see, that's gonna be your biggest difference. But
okay.
But yeah, graphics looks good. This game, obviously, that I played the whole weekend wasn't a realism game. It was but the coloring and the shading and everything was so vibrant and great. It was such a beautiful game. Like this is what gave me really a lot of hope for it and a lot of excitement. Is just their throwaway game to show you what they've got, basically. And they've done that for years in the past. and nobody talks about it. Like, it's just like, oh, that's the robot game that comes with it, right? And I didn't even play the Playroom that came with mine. I deleted it. I never even touched it. But this one was so different. It had a bunch of little Easter eggs with all, like, the greatest exclusives, and they were still little robot guys, but they looked like they were acting out scenes from the games, just scattered all over the world. And so you had, you know, like God of War and anything you could think of, Metal Gear Solid, all kinds of these, you know, Sony exclusives and stuff that have been so famous on the game. They just took a lot of time to make this a great game. And I think that's what made me happy. It wasn't just like this is what our new remote can do. And because they could have condensed it into a
sissy fest, little
15, 20 minute demo.
Yeah.
And instead they created something beautiful. And I would definitely play through that again. It was so cool. The different elements that you can use, the touchpad you can use for different things. There's a part in the level where your character gets in this mega suit and it turns you into a ball. You roll around all over, but instead of using your joysticks or anything, you have to use the touchpad and scroll with your thumb, and that's what rolls the ball everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And so there's just really cool mechanics that they've changed to really make you use your remote. And so I'm excited. I definitely am going to grab the PS5.
Nice.
That's just me. I'm a Sony guy anyway, so I probably didn't need to tell you guys that. But I definitely geeked out hardcore, and you know I haven't had, like I said, there's that feeling you get when you touch something like that's new, that not a lot of people have experienced yet, and that you just. I felt like a kid on Christmas. I was a kid on Christmas, basically.
Yeah,
but
literally,
that's cool.
But it was really cool. And
now you get me excited. You're getting Ryan excited. I see his big smile on his face. Shoot.
Well, I think this is the last thought, and I'm done because I could talk forever. I think the coolest thing is we all get amped up for new generation consoles, yada yada yada. But every year it seems like they come out, and you're in this dead zone for, you know, maybe 4 to 8 months where you're not really getting. There's a couple like exclusives that have come out, but that's it, and you're playing just some pretty base level stuff that's not that exciting. But you got your new console, so you're excited for what's to come. But instantly, right out the gate, they've just given you something that just excites the hell out of you. Like, it's just so cool. I mean, you know, you're excited. You want to keep exploring in it, and
that's still my biggest negative on going PS5 or Xbox is I'm probably generally buying that for maybe co-op games and family games.
It's all story stuff for me, really.
Yeah, because I'm so much on PC now. When we play stuff together, I'm going to be in my office playing PC. Unless it's a co-op type game. Like if we jump on a game like a new Borderlands. If I had a console, I might go down there and play it on my big screen, which I'd like to do. And I'd like to have something that's, you know, that I enjoy playing, that's new and looks good and all that jazz. So,
well, some of my favorite games are definitely story mode games. That's why I like PlayStation. I think they're really good at their exclusives and their story mode exclusives. And I like.
I just never play anything story mode anymore unless it's co-op. I just never do. I don't have the time.
And that's probably why I'm more geared towards it. That's my preference. I like that in sports games, and they really work for me. And I'm excited for it. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. You definitely got me more excited than I should be with my financial levels right now.
Official first look into the PS5.
Hit me up in 3 months. I don't know where I'll be, but
I'll have one.
You'll be in Glenpool. You're not moving.
Yeah. No, I mean, as far as
I know, I mess with you.
I'll have one in 3 months. I almost got one the other day.
You'll have one next month. What are you talking about?
Yep. I can tell.
I can tell. You're gonna pull it off. You're gonna work a deal with the wife. Something's gonna happen. Next thing you know, he's sending a picture to us with the controller and
sitting on the seat of his Tundra.
Playing it in my truck.
Hey, by the way, Hunter, Justin over on Brazzy TV, he wants to know how's the gaming chair going.
That's cold.
That is cold. Live.
It'd be better if he wanted to show us some love like he does his cousin, but you know.
All right, that's it. Ryan's getting one. You're getting one. He's like Oprah.
Right.
You get a chair. You get a chair.
I'll donate mine. 4 kids if you did.
Yeah.
I really would.
Well, you know, not everything in life is free, but there's some things that are free. And Ryan, you've got a list that's free.
Yeah, it's actually only semi-free, like we always say, because some of these are under subscription. But we're still going to go there.
All right, well, let's hit it.
Come on down to Freebie Farm. All games are free, half off, and 70% off the price of free.
Games may include microtransactions, time gating, and in-game ads before, during, and after gameplay. No refunds will be permitted for child purchases.
Not to cut you off, Ryan, but Mike wants to know over on Facebook, what are you guys getting? Well, we know Hunter's getting a PlayStation 5. Right now,
we're trying to get better jobs.
Right.
If we had the money, I think we're both leaning towards PS5.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards PS5. I know we have listeners who are gonna, message me and be like, "Hey, bro, what about the Xbox?" I get it. But that controller.
It's the controller and the VR. There's 2 things that PlayStation offers that Xbox does not. It's this new controller and VR. Yep. Sure, the graphics might be a little bit better on the Xbox, but let's be honest. Do any of us have 240 hertz, 4K, top-of-the-line TVs? No. Even the 4K TV that I have and that Clint has are older 4K TVs that are not super high refresh rate and aren't the top-of-the-line 4K TVs. They're like, lower generation 4K TVs.
And you got to have gaming companies willing to put that much effort into 4K.
Right. So are we going to see the difference graphics wise between these 2 consoles? Probably not. Not for a long time. And so for me, it's more of a feature thing. So that's what makes me lean towards the new controller.
I only jump on that bus when it's like a huge difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Same for me. Yep.
Hey, I did want to let you guys know on the VR end, my brother-in-law, Sean, messaged me the other day and said he tried the Oculus. I think the wireless one, the Oculus 2.
I tried it actually too.
He said, I want one.
It's good. Yeah,
I hear that. The Oculus is probably the best where it's at right now in VR.
Yeah,
I would say
the Quest 2 was. We were at a buddy's house a couple of weeks ago, and they had the Quest 2. One of his buddies brought it over. They were playing some game like when you move, time moves faster, but as long as you're not moving, time slows down. Super hot. Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, it was pretty intense. Horrible graphics, but great concept on the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
But that's what's cool about VR. You can play horrible graphics and it still feels amazing.
And they're still fun. Right.
It's
yeah.
Like, whoa,
I think the worse the graphics are, the less I get sick, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that might be
more
true.
It looks. Yeah, I would agree. Can't play Skyrim in that freaking thing.
No, I tried at your house and I almost threw up on your floor.
Well, I can't play it very long either. It's like get up on a mountain.
Started getting the sweaty palms.
Oh, really? Getting dizzy.
That's not what gets me dizzy. The dizziness for me is when I'm trying to run.
Yeah,
it's
I'm telling you, what we got to do is have another time with Hunter over, pop some Dramamine, and see what happens. It may be a world changer. I've looked into it
all night.
I've looked into it since then, and a lot of people say, "Hey, it's like all the sickness is gone if you take some Dramamine."
For which one, the Oculus, the new Oculus?
No, for any VR. If people get kind of sick with the VR, if they take the Dramamine, it makes a huge difference. Not everybody, but I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I went from couldn't play for 30 minutes to I'm good for 3 hours."
I'm pretty good at knowing when I need to stop, though. So
I never throw up. I just get the dry mouth. I just get the dry mouth and
that's where it starts for me.
And then a little bit of a headache. And then
I start sweating on my palms and my arms and nothing on my neck or anything. So I'm like, I know this is bad. I need to stop. My body is freaking out right now.
You're basically getting car sick, like motion sickness.
Ryan stayed on there for quite a while one night with me, and then he had a little
didn't
bit
bother me too much. Yeah, afterward, but during it wasn't too bad though.
Yeah, it was when you took the headset off, went and sat down, then you're like, oh, I was on there a little long.
Yep. All right, guys, Freebie Farm. We started it. We rolled the footage. And then we started talking about other stuff. I'm sorry.
It.
Yeah, it's okay. You guys heard me say in the beginning, not tonight. And, I saw Clint's face when I said it because I said it so perfect. He was like, what? We're not ready? And then I got him good. So that's what I was trying to do.
Boy, he has a lot of, thoughts in his head that just aren't true. Go ahead.
Anyways, not tonight is a game that's free on the list, and that's the actual whole name of the game. Not Tonight. This game is free on. Let me double check. The Humble Choice. Okay.
Okay.
And
wait. With a name like that, we need to guess what is this game about.
Okay, you won't, but let's do it. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. What is Not Tonight about?
Okay.
I imagine it's a simulation game where you roll up in bed by your wife at night.
Not tonight, babe.
Not tonight, babe.
It's not that. That's what I thought too.
Or
what is this?
A delirious dad walks in on the kid smoking the wildwood weed with the friends upstairs.
Ooh.
Not tonight.
Says Not Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe tomorrow when your mom's gone. I get it. No. Any more guesses?
It's a horror game.
I'm gonna say it's the name kind of makes me think of like Overcooked, something like that. You know, like a Not Tonight kind of fun group game. No.
Nope. No.
What is it?
I told you guys would never guess what this is. It is a simulation strategy general virtual career game. So you are in a role of a specific career. That career being a nightclub bouncer. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so you're that guy who say, "Hey, not tonight. You know, you gotta get out of here."
So you're the guy at the strip club in GTA that throws my character out. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. This says person of European heritage, which is a very weird way to describe this, but person of European heritage, number 112. Welcome to relocation block B. So this is like a
futuristic
virtual. Yeah.
Okay.
Your new home says your designated role is bouncer. Work hard, stay out of trouble, and we might let you stay in the UK. That's the entire description of the game.
Nice. Okay.
It's got like where the US is headed.
It's got it's got decent rating, 71 on the Metacritic, and then the user score is 6.8. So for a game described that way, I expected it to just be like not even a polished turd, just a turd. So usually I don't include stuff under 75 on my highlight reel, but the name and the uniqueness of the game bumped it up to the freebie highlight reel.
Okay, I'm digging you.
Okay. Let's see. Next list. We didn't have anything, just so you guys know, on the free for everyone list. Nothing that was worth mentioning. It just was a horrible list. There is a game that's going to be here as of the 7th, which is when you guys are listening, called Crying Suns. It's an Epic Game Store game. It's decent ratings. It's a strategy game. So if you guys want to get that, it's a true free one. If you guys like to hit those downloads on Epic Store and stuff like that before they go away. But the next one on the list here is going to be called Disney Frostpunk Console Edition. Have either of you guys heard of Frostpunk? Mm-hmm. Okay, Frostpunk is a action adventure survival game in a contemporary frozen world. People develop steam-powered technology to oppose the overwhelming cold. Okay, society in its current form becomes ineffective, and it has to change in order to survive. That's your full description. Some of these games just surprise me with these descriptions they put on here, because sometimes we're talking like 3-4 paragraph descriptions on games that look like they're nothing, and then some of these games that look decent will have like almost no description. So this one intrigued me because, you know, I like End of the Time apocalypse style games. I like survival games, and it's an 87 on the Metascore, which is really high, and a 7.9 on the user score, which is also super high on the user side. So if you're into games like that, I know there's not a ton of description for you, but you might check it out. And this is on the PlayStation Now. So if you have PlayStation Now, Frostpunk Console Edition, and it is free starting today, to be announced. So you're good to go on this. Another one, which I think we might have talked about before, but I'm not 100%. This is also PlayStation Now. It's called Wreckfest. I think we mentioned it maybe a few months ago. Wreckfest has got a Metascore of 82, user score of 7.0. It's a racing arcade car game, obviously. break the rules, and take full contact racing to the limit with Wreckfest. Expect epic crashes, neck-to-neck fights over the finish line, and brand new ways for metal to bend. I think when we talked about this before, this was before it became free, but it was a game we came across. There's a lot of different dynamics to how the wrecks happen. What's kind of unique about the game is they don't happen the same every time. The way people spin out and the way the impact affects your driving and different things like that is pretty varied, and that's what makes this game funner than most other games like it, from what I remember. Next on the list here, there's obviously some we know that I'm not going to talk about, but I'm going to mention them because they're good games on PlayStation Now, and that is Final Fantasy 15,
Okay.
Dead Cells, and Hitman 2. Dead Cells and Hitman 2 are only free till the end of February, and Final Fantasy is good all the way to the end of Dead Cells and Hitman are good to the end of January, and Final Fantasy is good till the end of February. So if you haven't got Hitman 2 yet, you need to go ahead and check it out. That's definitely a fun game. Same thing, Dead Cells is a highly rated game, and if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you can't beat free. So get on there and get you some. Shadow of Tomb Raider is on PlayStation Plus. That's literally one of the 3 games that are on PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus is really weak on this month. Prime Gaming actually had one that made the list. This is the first time in like 8 months that Prime Gaming had one that made the list. This game is called Wizard of Legend. Wizard of Legend has a really good score, 79, and then a 7.9 on the user score. It's a role-playing action RPG. It says it's fast-paced 2D dungeon crawler. That says enough for you. Okay, everybody knows what a dungeon crawler is. This is a game that's got a good rating from users and Metascore, and right now it's free if you have Prime. If you guys don't know what Prime is, that means you have Amazon Prime, which also gives you, the downloads for this stuff.
Yeah,
we've talked about that before.
Nintendo, but with better graphics.
Yep.
I like it.
And it's supposed to be a pretty long game. So if you're into those dungeon crawler kind of games, this is a pretty long game with a lot of variation, and it's free right now if you're already paying for your Prime. So, and it's not very often, guys. I'm telling you, maybe twice in a year that one of these Prime games actually made the list to mention. So, it's a special moment.
Yeah.
Stadia, we've been talking about it. It's been stepping up all the time. Stadia has a couple that made the list tonight too. One's called El Hijo or Hijo. I don't know how to pronounce that. A Wild West Tale, which is interesting because you got El Hijo, which is kind of Hispanic sounding. Then you've got A Wild West Tale, which is Western sounding. And then when you actually look at the graphics of the game, it's very Pokemon in a way. I mean, it's kind of got a Hispanic look to it, but it's also got that, I don't know, some of the modern cartoons, you guys would know if you saw it. It's got that look to it. Very, very 2D, but kind of, the big eyes and a certain vibe to the kind of graphics and stuff like that on there. Looks very bright, very vivid in the coloring. No user scores at all yet, so taking a chance on this one. It says I'm going to say hi, Joe. Let's go with it, or we could say hi-ho, but then you'd think, yeah, because that would be like jalapeno, right? But then why is there an H at the beginning? I don't know.
I just had the 12 Dwarves,
Yeah. It says it's a exciting spaghetti western. I've never heard that term before. They threw it in here like it's normal and everybody knows.
You didn't know what a spaghetti western is?
I don't know what that is.
If you watch a Clint Eastwood western, especially like his original ones, that would be considered like a spaghetti western.
Why? Give me a reason.
I think there's some kind of Italian thumbprint on it. I don't know the way, maybe the art of it, like the way they shoot it, maybe the shooting style of it.
Okay, so that has to do with what I'm talking about on here too, having a certain style to it, kind of like that. Okay, it's a stealth game. in which you guide a 6-year-old boy on his quest to find his mother. I watched the video on it. It looks unique. Looks interesting. What's weird is there are some reviews on it from customers or from users, but it has to have so many reviews before it gets a rating. So if you scroll down to its actual reviews down below, it's got a 60, a 70, a 70, 72, 80, and an 85, and a 90. So I would say it's probably around like a 75.
You're going to hear what a spaghetti western actually is?
Yes.
Spaghetti western is a movie about the American Old West that was made cheaply in Europe, typically by an Italian producer or director.
So it's like their non-American take on American Western history. That's interesting.
So I wasn't completely off then by the Italian touch.
Yes, but you were off by the
filming
by being like an old Clint Eastwood would not fit that.
No, yeah, one of his movies is called a spaghetti western.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one where he's got the cigar and the poncho.
Yeah, it's cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this has that vibe to it, I guess. Yeah. So, interesting. Unique game. And that's on Stadia. Then, of course, you've got F1 2020. You've got Hotline Miami.
How about just
and then
F2020?
you've got... What'd you say?
So how about just F2020?
And then you got Hotline Miami and Figment. I think I highlighted Figment here. Yeah, I did. Figment is a 77 Metascore and a 7.0 user rating. It's an action/general. Figment is an action-adventure game that invites you to explore a unique, surreal universe filled with music, humor, multi-layered narrative. Join Dusty and his ever-optimistic friend, Piper, on an adventure through the different sides of the mind, seeking to restore courage that's been lost. Love it. Love the idea behind it. So it kind of like made me in my mind say, it's like we're talking about like Inside Out. You're kind of going to dive into the world of the mind, and it's kind of got a vibe of like imagination type stuff. That's why it's called Figment, right?
Has some pencil bridges on it. That's pretty
okay, nice. Yeah, you're playing the video there, yeah. Uh-huh. So if you're watching the live feed, guys, you can see the video, and you can see they did a great job kind of going, hey, we're going to make something that doesn't even have to be anything like reality because it's about kind of your dream world, right? Your imagination world inside your head. And it's cool. I like the art style on it. I like the graphics on it. It's a unique little game, and it's got decent ratings, so... we're kind of consistently seeing Stadia, each month putting in more games that look worth playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would have been cool is what if Stadia had come out with like this controller technology? That would have given them some kind of a jump.
They needed something like that. That would have helped tremendously.
Yeah, because right now, they lost a lot of their steam in the beginning, and I don't really know that it's picked up. Yeah. Even though their games are getting better, you don't hear anything about them anymore.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes with that stuff.
Okay, next on the list, guys, we got Xbox Game Pass. One you can't skip if you haven't played it. It's fun, definitely with some friends. Among Us.
Oh yeah.
If you've heard of the game Among Us and you don't have any idea what it is, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on it. Because I think there are dads out there that have heard of it. They've heard their kids playing it. What is this Among Us game? It's just a new fad. It's a fun game, dads. Mm-hmm. It is a game like a murder mystery. You got missions to do, like little assignments that move you around this map. And then there's a killer. The killer wipes somebody out or multiple people. When people find the body, they call it out. You stop and then discuss why you think it is, who you think it is, and you vote them off. You may be voting out a comrade. You may be voting out the enemy. And so it's all kind of a deception-based game based on how sneaky you are and how good you are at lying. So very fun adult game, too, not just a kid game. So it's free if you have Xbox Game Pass right now. Check it out. I think Among Us has become cross-platform as of last week or 2 weeks ago because they were going to be releasing it to the Switch, and it was supposed to become cross-platform. Okay. So... Well, it already was. It's just adding the Switch.
Yeah, I was going to say before that, I thought you could do all of them.
Yeah, you could, because the people from the phone play with PC and stuff. Yeah, That's right. Okay, so Among Us, you got a couple different ones that are honorable mentions. The Dark Picture Anthology, Man of Medan, MotoGP 20, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition is on there right now on the Xbox Game Pass. Then you've got Greedfall. That's one I pulled a highlight on here. Greedfall is a 78 Metacritic and a 7.9 user rating. It's a role-play action RPG. There's never a shortage of these games lately. They're obviously a really popular genre. Explore uncharted new lands as you set foot on a remote island, seeping with magic and filled with riches, lost secrets, and fantastic creatures.
What was the name? Sorry.
This one's called Greedfall. And it says, forge this new world's destiny as you befriend or betray companions and entire factions with diplomacy, deception, and force. Pretty interesting sounding game. The graphics on it look pretty good too. You're just seeing so much more artistic type stuff coming out in games this last few years. And you're also seeing a lot of these, what we would consider kind of used to lower end games would never have any real time put into the graphics. And now, because it's so much easier to do, you're seeing good, unique graphics come into these games that normally you wouldn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's a unique game. And, you know, you can see Clint, if you're watching the live deal, he's playing the preview for it. Obviously, most of that's not gameplay. But it's not low-end graphics either. It's a decent-looking game.
Mm-hmm. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. It's got a unique style to it.
There's some gameplay. It doesn't look bad at all.
Really a French style to it, really. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. Like a French era.
The creatures look sweet, though.
They really do.
Yeah, that looks.
And so this is supposed to be a pretty in-depth game that varies greatly depending on who you betray and who you befriend, and kind of your choices that you make. Not all role-play games really do have that many variations. This one, by the user reviews, say it's very varied in the sense of the choices you make can really change the path of the game and the way it plays out.
Gotcha. Well, trailer looks really cool.
Okay, we got some other ones here. Super Shot. We're not going to talk about that one, but that one's worth checking out if you've got your Xbox Game Pass. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. We've talked about that one before. Call of the Sea, sorry. And I think I had one more on here. Monster Sanctuary. It's kind of an arcadey game. And then Starbound. Starbound I've got on a highlight here for you guys. It is a 81 on the Metascore and a 7.3 for the user rating. And it's kind of a high user rating in the sense of usually the more user ratings you get on these, the lower the score goes if it's not a very good game. This has 400 ratings and it's still 7.3. So it's a pretty solid, trustworthy rating usually. It's a fantasy action-adventure sandbox game. In Starbound, you take the role of a character who just fled from their home planet only to crash land on another. From there, you'll embark on a quest to survive, discover, explore, and fight your way across the infinite universe. It's definitely an old-style, side-scrolling game. If you're watching the live stream, Clint's got it pulled up on there for you.
So it kind of takes the idea from like No Man's Sky, except in 2D, sort of.
Yes, and if you're seeing the game and you say, well, it's not really that the graphics are unique. Yeah, it is. If you compare the artwork in this, even though it's a side-scroller game, is very different than a normal side-scrolling game. Even though they left it very blocky and kind of 16-bit style, it's kind of more textures, more shading, more of this kind of stuff that we didn't used to see in any of these kind of games. And so they're kind of, that's what I'm saying. No matter what kind of game is coming out nowadays, you see these kind of people really pushing their own
creativity,
visual creativity on it. Yeah. And I like seeing that because it adds variance to the game. And even these side-scroller games have done better with the sound effects, better with the music, and all these kind of things that kind of just make those games a little bit more enjoyable. But if you're into those kind of games, this one is a pretty in-depth one. It's a long game, and it's free right now if you have Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
So let's see. I didn't have anything else on the highlight, but I do have some that we want to hit, and that would be on the coming soon list for Xbox Game Pass. You've got Injustice 2. That's coming. If you're listening, it's out now because that's coming on the 7th. That's Xbox One and PC, depending on what you're running the Game Pass on. The Little Acre is coming on the 7th, so that'll be out right now if you're listening to the release of the podcast. And then you've also got What Remains of Edith Finch.
It's a good game.
Yes.
Storyteller game.
Yeah, we've talked about that one before.
That one's a bunch of little short story horror game, right? Isn't it? Yeah.
It's good.
And so that one's got great reviews, 89 on the Metascore. I forget what the user score. I think it was real high. Yeah, 653 reviews and an 8.4. That's about like all the way up there when it comes to the Metacritic scores. And it's got a bunch of short stories basically that you're playing through with different members of each story. If I understand right, yeah.
It's not. I don't. It's kind of got a thrilling aspect to it, but it's not really horror.
Okay.
More
it's
like
just
suspense.
It's suspenseful, and
Okay.
it's an unfolding story of what happened to Edith Finch's family, basically.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't call it horror. I'm not sure. Oh, I thought horror because it describes it as about a cursed family in Washington State, but that doesn't necessarily mean it falls into the horror genre. You're right. Because it says over here, adventure 3D first person.
Yeah, no horror.
It's really cool. It's a really cool game. If you like story games, you should play through it.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's my last one.
So just don't eat the toes of Edith Finch. Don't do it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. So Clint stole the words right out of my mouth.
Or the
Mind
toes.
reader today.
Yep.
Yeah, or the toes. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for that good list of games to watch out for this month. But I'm still going to be playing Overwatch, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Hey, I don't want to quit Overwatch at all. I'm having fun with Overwatch, but I do have an itch to play a little Warzone mixed in.
Me
Same
too.
here. I think the good thing about Overwatch is it's your 6-man go-to. If you got 6 people wanting to play, switch to Overwatch. If you only got 4, go Warzone. I think Justin and Rowdy like playing Overwatch because they get a break from Warzone.
Right.
So for sure. But enough of our gameplay routine, guys. Hey, if you like today's podcast and you want to watch more, go over to iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify. You can find us all over the place. Subscribe and share to your friends. Get it out there. Let people know who we are.
If podcasts exist there, we exist there.
Yeah.
That's right. The more you support us, the more we can support you. What do I mean by that? The more we have your support, the more we're free to create content.
That's right.
The specific
And
to your dad
entertain.
liking. Yeah.
That's right.
We can do more. We can take away more time from work life and, hook you up. So think of that. Think of that.
For 100,000 a year, guys. Come on. Not that hard.
And there goes Hutter panhandling out there with the, over there with the Tundra.
Since we're talking about support, we always want to mention we do have a Patreon. You can jump on there and donate. You can donate one time or you can donate monthly, whatever you guys would prefer. We love the support.
Oh, yeah. And check us out. Occasionally check out the YouTube video. We're going to be trying to get together more this year and pumping out some YouTube videos. Last year's pandemic situation kind of put everybody on standstill, but we are going to try to get together and do some actual videos where we're all in the same room or outside or whatever we got to do. So,
right.
We've been itching for that. So we got things planned. We just got to find the time to execute and get them out to you. Anyway, guys, with that said,
stay delirious.
Stay dadding.
And stay gaming. This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.